I know this is something that happened over a week ago, but I still think this is something that I should definitely talk about. It was announced sometime this past week. When I first heard about it, was on May 10th that EA Sports and FIFA will be ending their business partnership after 30 years. And for those who don't know, EA Sports have been licensing the FIFA series since 1993, dating back to the era of the Sega Genesis and the SNES. And it seemed like the FIFA series had become more popular as gaming evolved over time, especially as 3D gaming became more popular. A lot of people would argue that this past decade, the teens decade, has probably been the biggest time period for, I guess, the FIFA franchise in terms of becoming more appealing to the general public and, getting the eyes and the attention of casual gamers. EA Sports parting ways with FIFA is a pretty big deal, especially considering the fact the franchise managed to earn over $4.6 billion in revenue within the past 3 decades, selling over 325 million copies in relation to worldwide sales in terms of video games. And you look at the installments that came out this past decade, like the earlier installments like FIFA 12, 11, 17. They were all really great, and unfortunately, EA Sports were unable to lock down an 8-year deal with FIFA, because I believe the story was that EA Sports attempted to lock down an exclusivity deal with FIFA that was supposed to last for 8 years, and unfortunately that fell through, and it looks like this upcoming FIFA game, or this upcoming game, is going to be probably the last FIFA game we see from EA Sports. In fact, this upcoming game has been completely rebranded, and it's going to be called EA Sports FC. So I'm not exactly sure what had happened between FIFA and EA Sports. I don't think it's one of those deals where I guess maybe their contract was up or whatever. I think it's just, FIFA and EA Sports wasn't able to reach an agreement, because I believe there was one report where it was mentioned that the FIFA franchise was expecting double than what it was making annually from EA Sports, which was about 150 million, and I guess arguably so, considering how much of a success FIFA has been during the past decade. But at the same time, executives from the FIFA franchise are not really in a position to, I guess, ask for more from EA Sports, and a lot of people think that they should be happy with what they were being offered, what they were making annually from EA Sports. Also, like, when you really think about it, when it comes down to making video games in relation to sports, EA Sports is basically the premier, I guess, company that licensed sports games and all that stuff. And honestly, I don't know whether or not this is going to spell the end for the FIFA series, or whether or not FIFA gets licensed by, I guess, another video game company. I mean, who knows? Maybe the franchise gets bought out by, I don't know, Sony or Xbox Game Studios or what have you. But you look at Sony Interactive Entertainment and Xbox Game Studios, I don't think like either of those publishers specialize in licensing sports games like EA Sports does. In fact, like Sony Interactive Entertainment focuses more on action-adventure titles and RPGs, while I feel that Xbox Game Studios is pretty much the same, and they also focus more on shooter titles, whether they be first person or third person. So I'm not exactly sure what the fate of the FIFA series is going to be in the long run, but it's hard to believe that FIFA has been collaborating with EA Sports for the past 3 decades, and it's kind of a shame to see it end this way, because it seemed like the FIFA franchise has grown a big fan base over the past 10, 15 years or what have you, and it's a shame that we won't be seeing any more FIFA games licensed by EA Sports in the future, but hey, it is what it is, and for the games that came out in the past 10, 12 years, or what have you, those games are always going to be classics, and they're always going to be games that people are going to have fond memories of.